Luis wrote in saying, "Are either of you guys afraid of flying? How can I stop being so afraid of flying?" Luis, are you afraid of flying?
No, but the funny thing is that still, every time I get on a plane, and every time there's turbulence, your mind goes to one place, right?
Yeah, are we going down?
Yeah, and and you look out the window and you think to yourself, I'm in a gigantic piece of metal,
Right.
35,000 feet in the air, traveling 600 or so miles per hour.
Yeah, that's a little fast of an estimate, but yeah.
Yeah, is it? Well, it depends what kind of jet you're flying. Okay, 500, 550. Anyway, maybe between 5 and 530 is more accurate.
There you go.
I can't help but think about that occasionally. I
Yeah.
know you're the same way.
Yeah, and I always try to remind myself turbulence. I don't. Sometimes you hear turbulence has never made a plane crash. I don't know if that's true, but I know it's incredibly rare with large commercial planes for turbulence to lead to a crash. I am not currently someone that I don't. I'm not afraid of flying currently. There was a period, my first flight when I was 5, when I moved to the US, there was a period from, I'd say, about age maybe 12 to 14 or 11 to 13 or something like that, where I was really afraid of flying. I don't know how it happened. I think maybe the flying got wrapped up with going back to visit my family in Argentina and then leaving, which was always somewhat traumatic. And maybe it got sort of like intermingled with the flying and it got transferred over to the flying. And it wasn't really the flying itself, but more about what the flying commonly was related to. I don't really know. But there was a period where I really was very afraid of flying, and it just eventually sort of went away. And I don't really know exactly what caused it. You know, I think learning a little more about aviation and how safe commercial aviation is, and sort of what the different noises are and what to expect. And a lot of people
Just
get
doing it, just flying.
flying more certainly. A lot of people when when you're starting to get close to landing, and you hear the flaps and then you feel the plane start to, it feels like you're really slowing down too quickly, for example, or feeling the landing gear go down. That can be really scary, and you can feel it on a plane. I mean, last
Yeah.
week I flew to Vegas and back, and you can sense the palpable tension on the plane when those noises start to happen. Probably learning a little more about it is the best advice I can give. And if you need, you can get a prescription, for anxiety when you fly.
Just consider, I'm not afraid of it either. I'm more afraid that the plane will never leave the runway. I'm afraid of being in the plane
Yeah.
and all the miserable crap I'm going to have to deal with
Right.
at the airport, in the terminal, and on the plane. But just realizing how many planes are in the air at any given time, how many flights there are a day worldwide,
Yeah.
puts things into perspective.
And one thing that I heard that is really, really useful is when people are just generally afraid of flying because they feel like they're up in the air and just the plane could drop at any time. One of the best analogies I heard is if you think of air as just empty, that is going to make you scared of flying because the plane could drop at any time. But if you imagine yourself in a pool of molasses with your hands and arms out to your side and you're running through it, that is the impact of the air on the plane when you're flying at 500 miles an hour. It's not like flying through this empty air where we can easily move our hands up and down. It's really like going through molasses. And it's not as easy if you imagine floating in molasses for you to just drop to the ground. Obviously, planes can crash. And you can know this even if you're just driving 60 miles an hour and you stick your hand out of the car window. You can see that. Now imagine that almost 10 times over. And that I know has helped a lot of people feel just generally better about flying.
Yeah, if your engines crap out up there, you still have a chance. Now, if you're in a helicopter, you've got no chance. That thing is just going to drop, and you're going to it's going to be bad. But if you are in a plane, it's a bit more manageable.
All right. Sage advice from Lewis,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. Thank you for your questions. Send them in. We'll do 3 more next week. And of course, the show doesn't have to end now because we have a fantastic bonus show coming up. Go to davidpakman.com/membership. It takes mere seconds and it costs mere pennies a day. And you will get instant access to the world famous bonus show.